We are on the lookout for this 6-month Botox that hopefully will be out in the next couple months.
That'll be awesome. Mm-hmm. And we'll tell you what the name of it is when we find out.
When hopefully they ask us.
That's right.
Yeah. What could we call it?
I don't know.
Let's come up with a name. Let's randomize.
6.
Like Frosia. Like, why can't it be something fun?
Frosacea.
Smoothies.
Smoothies.
Smooth move. No.
No.
Welcome to BustmobTV. In the spirit of living our life with intention, me and Gretta Nance found some time in our day to pause, grab some coffee, and chat about what's going on inside Bustmob. We'll answer some questions, interview a Bustmob babe, and share ways to be more intentional in your daily life. Hop on in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Cheers.
Hallelujah.
I just noticed the no parking sign that I'm parked in front of.
Who cares?
Yeah, no one cares. You can't see it, but it says no parking on specific days.
That's right.
And that is not
Tuesday
today.
and Friday.
But let me tell you, I usually park here anyway.
You do.
I'm the boss.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm not the boss.
You do what you want to do.
I've been here for 18 years and no one has said anything to me yet.
Yeah,
so
I think we're fine.
Feeling safe about it.
We should just take the sign out.
Well, one of these days I want one of those. Like, that's kind of one of my goals, is to have like
sign?
Greta's parking spot.
Oh.
One of these
Good to
days
know.
I'm going to get my own parking spot. But thank you for joining my illegally parked moment of car of intention.
My boobs are really out right now.
I literally just noticed that. Like,
I'm not even wearing a different bra.
I think because it's a little warm out, they're a little shiny.
Maybe.
They look.
It looks like I contoured them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I like how we've been talking about the Enneagram lately.
Well, I haven't stopped talking
well,
about
that's
the
true.
Enneagram. So.
But like in Bustmob's Breakfast Club,
Yes.
we've been talking about it a lot lately.
Yes.
And that's what we do that on Instagram on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:45 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, we do.
But this past week, it's come up a lot. And I love how people still don't really understand what it is. They're like, what's that test called again? And we've been talking about it for, I feel like, years now.
Yep. Yet there's no like end to the amount of research you can do on it, though. Every time something weird or hard or confusing comes up in my life, I swear to God, the Enneagram has helped me at least understand why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting.
Totally.
So it's just another personality test. Like, whatever, that might not be your thing, but I'm telling you, this is a cool one.
So good.
And if you're in a relationship or you have kids,
or you work with people,
or even just like interested, like, I think it's kind of like a selfish thing too. Like, I love reading about myself.
Oh,
like,
I do
it's
too.
fascinating. Yeah, we really like ourselves. But it's apparently like the oldest personality test.
Is
like, it's
it?
been around for like 2,000 some years, and it continues to have like centuries where it comes back in and out of favor. But basically, it says there are 9 personality types, major. And at first, right away, I was like, there is no way I can be put into this box of just 9. But for whatever reason, we really gravitate towards one number in childhood. And that's what kind of internally motivates our actions. And it's kind of like the reason behind why you do something. And man, so I took a free test one time and it's like, you're a 7. And I'm like, okay. And then it gave me some bullet points. Like, if you're a 7, you might think this way. And
it's crazy.
It was like a gut punch.
Like someone's inside my mind reading
seriously.
all my thoughts.
Yep. I think I said, I have been in therapy many different times in my life, and never has a therapist been able to point out things about me as personally as this free test online did.
It's so cool.
So it is gold.
Yeah. Like, I read through the 9 before I took it, and I was like, I'm probably a 2, which is a helper. And I took the test 4 times, and every time I got 7. And I'm like, obviously I'm not a 2. I think I wanted to be a helper.
Yeah.
And then when I started reading about a 7, which is the enthusiast, like,
which is us.
it's like, we're both 7s, which I think is perfect while we do this.
Yep.
We're in like the right seat on the bus. But it is kind of crazy to read about yourself and be like, oh, that's why I react that way, or that's how I respond to other people. It's because of this 7-ness of me. But you can be like an unhealthy 7. You can be a healthy 7, and it shows you like what those look like and how to get to be a healthy 7. So it's amazing. If you haven't taken it, take the Enneagram test. There's so many free ones out there.
Yeah. There's no good or bad number. It's not like you're trying to get a score or
Nope.
anything like that. Like Jenny said, it just helps you understand, oh, here's my internal motivation and why I want this in my life and why I gravitate towards this. Like, again, we gravitate towards fun and lightheartedness. We hate negativity.
Yeah.
And that is helpful for me to learn because, man, sometimes I can't sit with a friend who's having a tough time without physically feeling uncomfortable.
But you have a really good Enneagram book that
yes, I almost
it's like a great basis.
dropped it.
It's
Well,
all right.
I can't, like, a girlfriend told me about the test and I'm so thankful for her. And then I've taken it way down. Like, I listened to all the podcasts and all the things and I've given it to my kids. Figuring out what my husband was has been so good. He is a helper. So they're not always perfect. Just FYI. Again,
None of us
there
are.
are good and bad
You're
to
right.
every number, and it teaches you how to relate to other people better. But this is my favorite, like, basic book. If you are literally looking for a quick read, a fun read, it tells you,
Kind of
like,
fun.
well, right.
It can be a little painful.
Reading things about yourself that you've never actually articulated, but is like your internal motivations, is a really gross feeling in a lot of ways. So The Road Back to You, An Enneagram Journey to Self-Discovery by Ian Morgan Cron is just a great basic. And you listened to it as well,
I did.
right?
I listened
the
to
Audible, and you
And he had a
recommended
good
that.
voice.
Yeah. Oh, Ian Morgan Cron is pretty cool.
Ian Morgan Cron?
Yeah, that's his name.
Wow.
I know. He doesn't have a cool name. Sorry, Ian. But he also has a podcast called Typology.
Yes, I want to listen to that.
Yeah.
You mentioned that in Breakfast Club.
It's good too. He just interviews a celeb or something like that of a specific number and just is like, why are you the way you are? You know, and like, let's talk about how that's impacted your
knew.
life. I know. Well, we don't know, but
we have the Enneagram.
Yes, it has been super helpful to me. And I'd love y'all message us and let us know what numbers you are because we're really nerds about it.
So some things that I've been seeing a lot in Bustmob lately are like, hey, I just went to my surgeon. I got recommended this size, like 4'15". I'm 5'3". Like, does that sound like a good size? Like, things like that. But we want to remind you, like, there's Goal Finder out there. And that's Bustmob's Goal Finder, where you can plug in your height, your weight, the CCs maybe your surgeon recommended, or you can leave that blank and just see, like, someone with your body style, your body shape and everything, and see what different CCs look like on them.
Yep. It's literally why we created it.
Yeah.
Because poor people, we were like, oh my God, everyone's posting the same thing. You want this confidence that it's not going to look either too big or too small on you. And so that's what the power of the group is, that we get to share in each post. But also know there's a place that those are all being collected. And so you can go browse them all instead of just relying on people to respond to you. And now there's the collections feature of it, which is even cooler.
Collection's really cool because it's kind of like a Pinterest board. You can go through like all the photos and you can heart the ones that you like and create like a little collections board. And you can title it whatever you want. You can like save it. You can get a link to it. So you can like send it to your surgeon and be like, hey, I like this. You can send it to your boyfriend or girlfriend or whomever, your mom if you want to, you know. I think it's really cool because right now there's nothing else out there like it.
No.
And it's just such a unique tool. And so if you haven't uploaded photos to Goal Finder, you totally should.
Yes.
Because we need lots of more photos because everyone's body type is so different and we want to make sure we can represent as many body types as possible.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you know,
Probably not.
as a fan of Botox yourself,
Oh, I do.
and me,
I just got it 2 days ago.
Well, what if I told you, you know how Botox lasts about 3 to 4 months?
Yeah.
That soon we will be able to have a Botox product that lasts 6 months.
Ooh.
So you only have to get injected twice a year instead of 3 to 4 times a year, which most people do on average with Botox.
Awesome.
So we're really excited about that. We've
Yeah.
been kind of keeping our eyes on it, and it looks like it's in the FDA approval process.
Oh, so it's not out yet. It's
No,
about
but
to
it's
be.
coming.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
And it's made by the same people who love our new favorite filler,
Mm-hmm.
that Revance. The company is called Revance.
Got
it's
it.
the RH123 filler
1, 2, 3.
that we're digging.
I got my lips filled with the RHA.
Yeah. Really like that company anyway and what they're doing, but now I'm come to find out they've got this product that hopefully will have us only sitting there paying for injections twice a year to maintain our smooth appearance.
That's
so
gonna be
I'm
amazing.
really, who knows what it's going to be called? Like,
That's
I would
true.
love to be involved in the naming of these things because what weird names anyway.
Yeah.
But
Zeoman.
stay tuned. We are going to be on that like a hawk.
Yes.
Like, I will be the first one to sign up for that.
And I know this is different than the Botox conversation or the wrinkle relaxer, but I like the Revance lip gloss.
Yes. No.
What is it called?
Totally wrong company.
It's not Revance?
No.
Who makes that?
Revision.
Oh, damn it.
But you are learning so much. I'm so proud of you.
It started with an R.
It is. The Revision Youthful Lip Replenisher. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
This is why she does all the med spa skincare stuff.
Well, I have 3 of them everywhere I go because I need one for my purse. I needed one on my nightstand and one on my makeup table because I do like that. Totally different. Jenny completely leapfrogged. Squirrel. Look over that. No, not really. I'm kidding. I'm like, that's what your brain does.
Well, it's close. It started with an R.
Yes, but we are on the lookout for this 6-month Botox that hopefully will be out in the next couple months.
That'll be awesome. Mm-hmm. And we'll tell you what the name of it is when we find out.
When hopefully they ask us.
That's right.
What could we call it?
I don't know.
Let's come up with a name. Let's randomize.
6.
Like... Frozia. Like, why can't it be something fun?
Frozation.
Smoothies.
Smoothies.
Smooth move. No.
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 That one's taken.
Smooth jacked. I don't know. Longevity.
Face. I'm mad at this.
Okay, are you ready for question number 1 from Bustmob?
Yes.
I really, really enjoy startling Jenny with what these might be.
I like to
never
see if you
know
pick the right question.
Oh, there's no chance. I record these on my phone and I'm not tech savvy. Okay, here we go.
I'm 2 days post-op and I have major Franken-boob. When will my boobs start to soften up?
Well,
major Franken-boob.
Yeah, that's normal, first of all.
Yeah,
especially
for some people.
Yeah, for 2 days post-op, they can look high and square. That's why we call it Franken-boob.
Looks like Frankenstein's head shape, right? Is that what it's supposed to be? Like a square? That's what I always assumed.
I've never connected that. Maybe.
Who made it up? We should ask the internet. But I assumed it was because he has a square head.
That makes a ton of sense. Well, now it's like I learned something that shifted my entire perspective on a word.
Oh, good.
But anyways, totally normal. They will settle over time. It can take some people 6 to 9 months for everything to fall into place as it should. But a good place to go is Amelia Academy. Like, we have a lot of videos to kind of help prepare you for what recovery is going to look like.
Jeff. Our team is harassing us.
Yeah, he slowed down and distracted us. But in Amelia Academy, you can download, it's our free app, I said. It's on Android and Apple. And you can watch hundreds of videos that we have filmed on different topics, whether it's breast augmentation, liposuction, tummy tucks, mommy makeovers, whatever. But in this case, we did a recovery section. So you can really watch videos specific to where you're at in your journey.
I think it's so great just to post in Bustmob too. So many women have experienced the same thing and it's so reassuring.
There's a spider.
Oh boy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I always got to put a skincare question in there because it's kind of my fave. So here you go.
I have dry and sometimes flaky skin, but I break out with heavy creams and moisturizers. Help.
Oh, help.
Amen, sister. Help.
Yeah, and we're getting into summertime.
Yep. I am obsessed with serums for that exact reason. I also don't like to put a bunch of heavy cream, especially in the summertime, on my face. But serums go on first and are lighter and go deeper. So they can moisturize deep down instead of just slathering stuff on the outside that messes with your makeup, that interacts with your sunscreen. So my favorite is, I think, what you were just talking about earlier. This is your favorite as well, because it's like a moisturizing serum, which actually has anti-aging properties in it. So let me see if it's the same thing I was going to say.
Do you want me to answer?
Yes.
Is it Hyalus Plus?
It is.
That's what I use twice a day.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of hyaluronic acid.
Hyaluronic acid, which sounds scary.
But it's so...
Not scary.
It's not. It kind of makes my face feel a little bit tighter when I put it on. Yeah. And I let it dry. It feels like everything just kind of cinches in a little bit too, which I like.
It is literally an instant plumper, but still leaves room on your skin for your next product. So hyaluronic acid naturally occurs in our body anyway. I hate that it has the word acid because that somehow sounds scary, but we want it. Hyaluronic acid absorbs up to 1,000 times its own weight in water.
Wow.
And protects it from evaporating throughout the day. So literally there are so many benefits to using something like Hyalus Plus. It's by Neocutis. It's a really lightweight serum.
It looks like a gel almost.
Yeah. You can use it once a day or twice a day, depending on how much you need. But it also, I've heard, sets up your next products to penetrate even more deeply. Like if you are literally just trying to rub in some products on something that is completely hard, they don't absorb as well. So if you use Hyalus first, it literally softens up and creates channels for your next products to penetrate deeper. So it is like almost one of my number one go-tos for people when I'm like, what's going on with your skin? You just don't love it. It feels dry. It feels tight. It doesn't feel like it's glowing. Hyalus Plus will give you that glow.
Like if I'm really lazy at night after I wash my face, I will just put Hyalus on.
Me too.
And go to bed.
Yep. It's like if you do one thing, it is my fave. And you can buy it, as always.
That's right.
On realsimpleskin.com. And, you know, we might have negotiated that little discount for our Bustmob ladies. So don't tell anyone else. Only for the Bustmob ladies.
Even though this is on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I hope that everyone will only use the code Bustmob to save 10% if they're actually in Bustmob.
I wouldn't.
Well, they're losing out on not being in Bustmob, you know?
That's true.
Like, that's sad. Your life is sad. All right. Are you ready for question number 3?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Okay.
My biggest fear is getting a capsular contracture. What is done to help prevent it?
All right.
Can I say something?
No.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
I just want to say that shouldn't be your biggest fear.
That's
you
true.
know, like just number one, I hear that a lot, and I always start with, before I even get into educating about it, that should not be your biggest fear. Like, and if it is, you shouldn't have surgery.
That's
like
true.
you just, it's just like the risk of having a car
accident.
Oh Jesus!
Well,
I was
there are things
there's
that
a
are
risk
out of your control.
Yeah, my tire popping,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna not buy a car because I'm gonna have to get like. There's a potential that my windshield wiper breaks.
Like there's always a what if.
Yeah.
And what ifs shouldn't stop you from doing something that you really want.
Yeah. It is part and parcel to the surgery.
Yeah.
Like about a 2 to 3% chance. Not dangerous, not anything crazy. So that's what, first of all, just don't be so fearful. And if you are, you shouldn't do the surgery. We're very open about that.
That's right.
But what do we do? What kind of precautions do we take to prevent capsular contracture?
Well, I just learned that we take like 7.
At Amelia.
At Amelia here, we take like 7 different precautions to prevent it, which is why our capsular contracture rate is so low. I think it's like, what, 2%? Which is amazing. But it's because we set these certain practices in place that Dr. Pyle is going to talk to us about right now.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to film that with him. It's really helpful.
Take it away, Dr. Pyle.
So what is capsular contracture? Capsular contracture is a thing that can happen after implants. It's not common, but as time goes on, it tends to become a bit more common. Every surgeon has their own way of doing certain things. And so to minimize the risk for capsular contracture and other trouble, I think of it as like 7 steps in the operating room. We'll wash with a prep soap made of something called chlorhexidine. The second wash is another version of a different type of soap, either a different type altogether, like something called betadine, or a different version of chlorhexidine where it's alcohol-based. The third thing that we'll do is put covers over the nipples as shields. And that's because we think of the nipple as skin, but it's not. It's the outward expression of the breast. The next thing is just surgical technique, so being careful during the surgery to minimize the risk of there being bleeding or blood or anything else left behind in that pocket that can cause irritation, and washing it out with an irrigation made of a couple of different types of antibiotics. The next thing is when we are ready for the implant and we're getting ready to put the implant in, the first thing that we do is bring it onto what's called the back table in the operating room. And before opening it up to the world, we inject some fluid around it. And then when the implant goes in, it does so through what's called a no-touch technique. It's called that because we can put the implant from the bucket into what's called a funnel, into the pocket that we've created without ever touching me or the skin. And then the last thing that we do is close off the space around the implant from the outside world with a couple of layers of sutures. Now, it's important to remember, like, your surgeon doesn't want it either. Like, nobody wants you to have this problem. That's why we do so many things to decrease the likelihood of it. But when it happens, like, you work with your surgeon together to work on a plan, and that may be singular first, it may be surgery first, it may be one or another version of the surgery. But either way, like, for most people, most of the time, it's a solvable issue.
That is so cool. I had no idea some of those things that they did. Again, doesn't prevent it, as the girl who is the queen of them. But I'm really glad to know it's not my fault. It wasn't my body. And my surgeon and team did everything they could to prevent it. And again, it's part of the risk of doing something like this.
Yeah. And I think the part that kind of blew my mind was putting the tape over the nipple, because that's such a duct that goes straight into the breast. And it's something I never would have even thought about had like Dr. Pyle not mentioned it, because I saw him put the tape over mine because he took videos. And I'm like, why is he doing that? But now I know it's so bacteria doesn't travel down in there. It's so cool.
It is. So ask your surgeon what they do, you know, to help take precautions against that happening to you. But don't freak out. We're here for you if it does happen.
That's right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us.
In the no parking zone.
That's right. We would love to hear what your Enneagram is.
Yes, we
Ours
would.
is a 7, obviously.
But Jenny is a 7 wing 6. And I am a 7 wing 8.
I've never scored a wing 6.
Really?
But if I had to pick between,
yeah.
I lean towards a 6.
Yeah. Which makes us similar, but different.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
I like it. Yeah. Typology. Check that out. That podcast. I'm going to check that out.
You should.
This book for, what is it
I
called?
almost dropped it.
The Road Back
The
to
Road Back
You.
to You.
Very good.
Starter book.
And I would listen to it on Audible too if you have a drive, because his voice is pleasant. I really did enjoy it. But we have to go. We will see you in Bustmob. Let us know if you have any questions, and we're here for you.
Bye. Love you guys.
Thanks so much for watching. To join Bustmob, shop for swag, or follow me and Greta on social, click the links below. See you next time.